Oda really did it. He named the guy that kicked Kyoto Polo, and he's supposed to be Marco's father. What? Welcome back in, you guys. One Piece chapter 1165. Brief spoilers have dropped. If you have not read them for yourself yet, I'll make sure to drop it down below in the pinned comment, as well as sourcing it out to where I found them. But yes, today we're here to just yap about this damn chapter because a couple of things happened. So, getting right into the plot point that really perturbed me, the one that I did not see coming. But yes, apparently we get introduced to Marco's father in this chapter. A couple weeks back, you might recall that a meme was going around, people pointing out that the guy who kicked Kyoto in the face, the man who defeated Kyoto, he had the same hair as Marco. Personally, I saw it too. I was like, yeah, like that looks like Marco's hair. But surely his dad isn't just a random marine on the island, right? Surely Oda wouldn't give the dad the same haircut as the son. But here I am. There's egg on my face because Oda did do it. I forgot that this is One Piece we're talking about. Of course, father and son have the same haircut. And of course, his name is freaking Polo. We got his full name here. It's called Polo Graham. So Marco would actually be Polo Marco, I think. Yeah, Oda's trolling. I wonder if he meant to do this, or maybe he just saw that so many people were talking about it. He was like, hey, yeah, that guy, he does look like he'd be Marco's dad. Let's just go with it. Funny stuff, man. So we see him. He approaches Whitebeard, and he's like, man, I'm a big fan of yours, Whitebeard. Let's join forces. Okay, I guess so, man. Sure. I do wonder, like, where is he today? Because this was 38 years in the past. Is Polo Graham dead? Is he retired? Is he still on the Whitebeard crew? Because that'd be a little bit awkward. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we've had an instance yet in One Piece where a father and son are on the same crew and the father isn't the captain. Like, they're both just lackeys to a certain extent. And Marco, was he born into the crew then? Like, oh, son, I'm gonna brand you with the mark of Whitebeard on your second birthday. I don't know, man. Good stuff here. I do like the world building. I like the lore. And I just think this is absolutely hilarious. Polo? Really? Out of every name. Okay, so we get another reader requested cover. This time we have Law and Beppo using Zeus as a sleeping pillow. Cool stuff. You know, always good to see more Law in the story considering his backstory is fake. I just love seeing him get some much needed stolen time in the spotlight. So on to the chapter. Now, the first bullet point from the week, minus the Polo stuff, is about the Rocks Pirates as a whole. They've disbanded. Shiki declares that this is the end of the Rocks Pirates, and we see the remaining members all fleeing and going their separate way. Bro, really? Guys, nobody stuck up for Rocks minus Kaido, Whitebeard, and Big Mom. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they all leave, and with this, I really hope we get to see some of the other side characters. Like, oh, here's Barbell, here's Gloriosa, Stussy, Gilbastar, Silverax, because yeah, he got beaten, but I mean, I'm sure he's not dead. Like, where are they going? Who do they go with? Do they all just have a boat off the coast of the island ready to go at a moment's notice if they want to leave the crew? I'm not too sure. I wouldn't be shocked if some of them end up leaving with the Roger Pirates. Like, oh, you know, Whitebeard doesn't have a boat, so he hopped on board Roger's ship. Maybe that's what Gloriosa does because she does have that tie with Shaki. I guess we'll find out. I guess we will find out. And then Barbell, he could just jump in the water. He's fine. He's a fish. So, next up, we see Roger and Garp telling their crew and soldiers that they'll be back soon. Then, we see that they join forces to face Xebec in an epic battle that the leakers say spans several pages. Oda, my guy. Brother, when it comes to Clash Piece, I've never really been a big fan of it, but I acknowledge that Toei is going to flesh it out, right? I always bring it up. Zoro and Lucci, brother, in the manga, at most, that had maybe 6 panels. In the anime, yeah, it's still pretty short, but we got a lot more attacks. It looked a lot more flary. That right there is the cope I always fall back onto whenever we get a clash in the series. Yes, I would love a full-on battle in the manga, but, you know, if we don't get it, we don't get it. I get it. Oda is trying to finish the series. He's trying to speed things up, so I understand that we can't always get a long, drawn-out battle. But here we go. Oda's doing it! Thank God, dude! Roger and Garp fighting Xebec for several pages. I bet we're gonna get new moves. Hopefully we get some nice choreography. And I'm just excited to see this tag team duo go at Xebec. I mean, of course, it's gonna be really sad. But cool, right? You know, because Xebec's crying. He's like, hey, guys, please kill me. And then Roger and Garp are probably just having fun. Apparently, according to one of the leakers, Roger and Garp synergy is so good that Roger even asked Garp, like, hey, do you want to join my pirate crew? And of course, we kind of know what Garp's going to say, right? No, I'm not joining your crew, man. What the hell? Dude, everybody wants to recruit freaking Garp. So we cut over and we see Kaido and Big Mom, and they're talking. She tells him that he has a lifetime debt to her for the devil fruit. And then they part ways. We kind of knew about this already back on Wano. Big Mom said, hey, Kaido, you still owe me. I saved your life. I gave you your devil fruit. Here we go. Oda just wanted to bring that line in right here. And people have been asking, like, okay, did Big Mom really give Kaido the devil fruit? Does he really owe her? I think so. I do think Big Mom could have fought a little bit harder for the dragon fruit. But because it was Kaido, I bet she kind of just let it slide. Yeah, she was annoyed. But I bet deep down, she's like, well, he's like my little brother, so better him than, I guess, anybody else, right? But that right there is just my own personal headcanon. So, next up from Worst Gen, they say that Dragon hops on board a marine ship, his marine ship, and he points his gun at his captain, saying, hey, we're gonna save everybody that's alive on this island right now, and if you don't do it, I'm gonna freaking shoot you. Dragon's going crazy. Of course, last chapter we saw him breaking down because he couldn't save Shanks, and then prior to that, he couldn't save Shamrock. So yes, Dragon right here is pushed to the breaking point. The Marine Captain, I wonder if they're going to go through with it. Like, brother, you're a Marine Captain. You're really going to let this happen to you from a cadet? And plus, Dragon, he doesn't have a real gun, right? Unless he picks one up. But prior to this, he really just had a tranquilizer gun. So maybe he picks up a new one on the way. But yeah, Dragon, he does want to save as many people as possible. Even though I don't think there's anybody really left on the island to save. Because when you think about it, it's really just the Rocks Pirates and the God Knights. Pretty much everybody else has already been saved by Kuma. Maybe there's like a little group of people that Kuma didn't see and they just hop on board. Not too sure. But even then, it's like, yo, you save these people and then the Celestial Dragons are just going to kill you tomorrow for them. So, kind of a lose-lose situation. So, next up, we see that Imu does again give the order to destroy and erase everything on God Valley. Nothing new there, you know. Imu wanted this from the very beginning. Even Garling himself said, hey, this island will cease to exist pretty soon. And then last chapter, Imu was like, hey, kill everybody. So this is just Imu again repeating orders. I do wonder how he's going to destroy the island. You know, there still is a pretty big debate going on whether or not God Valley still exists current day, or if it simply got Leluciad and that's why it is marked off the map. So I guess we will find that out pretty soon. Again, I know I'm a broken record when it comes to this, but where the hell are the God Knights? Dude, I get it. Garling's done. Blonde-haired girl done. But there's like 9 more of those dudes. Where are they? Who are they fighting? The Rocks Pirates are gone. The Roger Pirates are gone. The slaves are gone. Are they just hanging out? Like, I don't know. The God Knights, man. Maybe Imu talks to them, and that's who's going to destroy the island. But we'll see. At this point, my cope for those guys can only go so far. It's waning, brother. It's waning. So, next up, we see Xebec conquers Haki. And according to the leakers, it is incredibly strong. Garp and Roger decide to unleash all their Haki into one ultimate combined attack. And the chapter ends with Garp and Roger launching their attacks at Xebec. Garp's move resembles Luffy's elephant Gatling, while Roger channels his Haki through his sword, which sounds like a basic thing, right? Oh yeah, Haki sword, cool. Kind of like Shanks when he showed up to Wano, like he pulled it and then our Maki was like, whoa, that's crazy. Garp's move, to me at least, is what's really interesting here. Like, what do you mean it looks like an elephant Gatling? Because elephant Gatling is when Luffy uses Gear 3rd and he coats it in hockey. Garp hockey, yeah. But Garp with an elephant fist? What? Is this like a giant hockey Susanoo? Or does Garp simply use his aura to create a giant fist? Kind of like Zoro in Ashura, where he's like, oh, demonic spirit. Then you see Ashura behind him. Is this like that? Or is Garp actually making his fist bigger? I have no clue what that means. Elephant Gatling Garp. I'll take it though. You know, I am a sucker for new named attacks, and this is what we're getting here. So now that we see that the attacks have landed, Xebec is finished. They ultimately defeat Xebec, and the dark evil energy seeps out of his body. Kind of like what we saw from Saturn back on Egghead, where Imu was like taking away his powers. It kind of seems like that is what's happening here. Of course, it doesn't say that Xebec is a pile of dust yet, so there is a chance come next chapter he's still around for a little bit. And since Imu is here, who's to say that Imu doesn't just buff him again? Like, we gotta remember, right? Yes, we beat Demon Xebec, but the real demon is in the sky still. You know, the real demon is watching the fight. So what happens next? Do Garp and Roger leave the island? Do they flee together? Or is there going to be some sort of round 2 that we're not expecting? Because I kind of hope so. I hope this isn't it yet. But we'll see. One thing I do want to point out, this was a new change in the latest volume of One Piece, but Imu, when they used Domi Reversi on Brogy, originally, Imu said, I will grant you the powers of evil, but they changed it. They changed the Japanese just the other day, and Imu now says, I will give you the powers of a god, which of course, god, evil, you could argue same thing, different thing, but yeah, nice little change. I just wanted to point that out here because, you know, Xebec is using the godly powers as we speak. But alas, that is it for the spoilers, guys. Let me know what you thought about this chapter down below. I think it sounds pretty awesome. Like I said, I am a meathead through and through. I love just seeing fights, and that is what this is. You know, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to witness, and I just hope, hey, I just hope we get to see some good side character action here at God Valley. Whether it's the Rocks pirate members, whether it's the God Knights, I just hope we get some sort of update on them. But that's just me. Peace out, stay safe, till tomorrow when the full spoilers drop.